Let's talk about Luke Cage.
Yeah.
It's been out for what, nearly a week. A week.
Yeah.
With
Friday, it'll be a week.
we tried to watch 6 episodes. Alex is at 10. I've managed 7, I think, maybe 8.
Let the team down with 5.
Scott is just bringing up the rear again with 5. Never mind, Scott. We'll go to where you are because I don't want to spoil anything for you. Really,
Yeah.
I'm more interested in general impressions anyway, because we can't possibly go through 5 episodes and go into them in any great detail, and nothing really groundbreaking happens by 5. So we'll talk in broad terms about what we make of it all. Scott, what's your first impressions?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
I'm really digging it. It's not what I expected it to be at all. It feels very different from what I thought it was going to be based on what everyone's been saying about it. Like, I don't know, it just works for me in a really weird way. Although it is getting really annoying that, oh, here's a song in his club. That means something's going to happen. Like, I'm almost certain every episode has had that moment where it's this guy's performing in Cottonmouth's club. Oh, don't call him Cottonmouth. Don't call him Cottonmouth.
You know he doesn't like that name.
Doesn't like that name. I'm really strong performances across the board. I'm really liking Misty Knight, which means I actually have to go and read more stuff about Misty Knight.
She's pretty good.
She's really cool in that show. Luke's like Mike Coulter, really good as Luke Cage, bringing some attitude and I don't know what you call it, like where someone's just imposing on, like when he's in a scene and he's Luke Caging, you're like, I'm not gonna fuck with him.
He has got a lot of presence and charisma. Every now and then there's a line delivery, and I'm just like, he should have just done another take.
I think that might be deliberate.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I know I've seen on a bit further, so I'm without going into spoiler territory at all, but from spending more time with him, it seems like that the character is just a little bit clumsy with words.
Yeah.
He's not that good, and he's like you see early doors when he's in the club behind the bar with Misty. He's trying to be all cool and stuff, and he's just messing it up completely. I think it might be deliberate that when it comes to speaking to people, particularly women, he's rubbish. He's just not good at it at all.
Maybe. I mean,
there is that one in the Fight Club thing there where he delivers a lot. I can't remember what he says. It's something.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna win or something stupid like that. I know the line you're talking about.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's.
Are you talking about the flashback episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about that episode specifically because it must be episode 4 or so.
Yeah, it is episode 4.
We go back to how he.
Wait, can we start how that episode goes to flashbacks? Because what the fuck was the end of episode 3? With Cottonmouth firing a rocket launcher.
It's like something out of Arrow. 15,000 nuclear bombs.
Like
it was a bit over the top.
Right, fine, you could blow out a building, but then the building collapses, and I was just like, what?
It's an old building, man.
I'll tell you what, though, they had about 4
only
stories.
That bit falls.
They had about 4 stories on their head, and there was a great big fucking cavern they were in, and it had a lot of light in it. It was a very unusual building collapse.
They're in New York. It's just light pollution everywhere.
It's not cool.
Everywhere.
Even in collapsed buildings.
Especially.
But yeah, let's get to the meat of episode 4, which is the flashbacks.
Well, look, first of all, for me, I could barely watch that episode.
Really?
I thought the script took a real downward turn in terms of quality of the writing. The dialogue was pretty bad in several places where I was just embarrassed. I was saying to Helen, like, I don't know what's happened. I don't know. Like, this is my show, so I feel like I have to defend my show sometimes. So I can't. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know it's stupid. And then, oh god, some of the stuff he comes out with in the prison fights, like you mentioned, and then they do this they do this awful homage to the original costume.
Oh, with the thing on the head.
It was
You
just,
look like a fool.
Oh, it was shocking. It was shocking.
I'll agree with you on that episode.
It felt like
we
a
sat
different
down.
show.
So we
Like-
watched 3 episodes first night.
Yeah.
First night came out, watched 3. And then before we sat down for episode 4, wife turns to me and says, "Do you know what I really like about this? That they've not felt the need to go back and do the whole origin story part of it." And I said, "They're going to have to do it at some point, because right now, it's not really explaining anything." And then right enough, episode 4 comes along. I think it was storyboarded well. I think the ideas were sound. The execution of them wasn't great.
No.
The outfit thing, I think, was sort of a nod. It was an Easter egg.
Awful.
That's
oh,
all
awful.
it was. All it was an Easter egg for book readers. But coming out of that, again, the storyboard was great. He goes to prison, he's all... grrr, and then he softens because of this lovely shrink, and then it all goes bad.
Squibbles is a bastard.
Yeah.
Fucking
So the ideas were sound. It's just it didn't quite hit it home like it should have done.
It feels like
And
that
it
was like
does.
the first thing they shot.
I'd say no. I'd say it's probably.
You think
quite
it's end stuff? I don't know.
I think they've gone. Oh shit! We need to put this in as well.
I don't know. It does feel very out of place with the entire series, and it feels really clunky. Like, because there's a flash to it in it is episode 1 where he sleeps with Misty. Like, there's like a weird little 2-second flash to it, and it's like,
They kept jumping back to being under that building, and then sometimes spend about 5 seconds there, and the nice Asian landlady would be like,
leg.
"You better tell me how you got those powers," and then let's flash back again, and it was like, why did we need to go back there for 5 seconds? What? Are you...
It would have been better if he had been knocked out and then wakes up and then just does the whole hero stuff in the end. Because, like, considering it's like, oh, we should keep it between us, and then the next episode he's flipping rubber while people film him.
He's really become out of all of the Netflix heroes so far, he is kind of just outed completely himself. He's not hiding anything. And that's I like that's a different thing that we can explore, like being in the public eye as a hero.
Yeah.
That's
why I love episode 5, because people keep coming up to him and he's like, you know what? I'm dealing with this. And then he goes, he beats up those the guys who stole that woman's money, tips or whatever. He beats them up, which is brilliant. I love that. And then there's the people who steal the ring and he chases them down. That's really cool.
I did like in episode 4 one line when he turns to whoever the guard is and says, "I'm not for hire." I did like that. I just think it's quite interesting.
By the end of the series, he is going to be for hire.
There's a lot of nods and winks at that heroes for hire thing.
There is.
Yeah, literally. It's so obvious it's going to happen.
But I think that's why they've had to out him, because it's leading that way, and he is going to become open anyway. So I may as well start off that way and play on what we've got. If he's an open character, then and the public know who he is, it opens up a whole nother breadth of storylines, and then you start getting into the realm of similar to, I think, like Sokovia Accords. If you're looking at the fact that the worldwide public know who the Avengers are, the Avengers are then accountable for it, particularly Tony Stark and Steve Rogers.
This is the best example of them tying it into the MCU, though, from what I've seen. Also does that great line. It's like, I got it on Blu-ray. It's like, my man, he doesn't do DVD. that street peddler does not do DVD. He knows I want good quality bootlegs of the invasion or the incident.
The Blu-ray quality of somebody's mobile phone video of aliens.
In portrait mode as well.
Gotta give him top credit for that. But he also, there's that guy who's like, screw this, I'm going back to Hell's Kitchen, which I really like that line.
Well, that was Turk, and he appeared in Daredevil, so
yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, that was part of it.
Well, there we go. And episode 5 is where Night Nurse comes to town, right? That is Night Nurse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 Night Nurses, Alex.
There you go.
We're doing
There's two
two.
night nurses.
Like,
Oh, and also, I mean, Mariah plays two characters as well.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
have I got confused?
Imagine Mariah standing next to a lift at MIT, waiting for Tony Stark to come off stage.
Oh,
yeah,
right, well,
she did. Yeah.
yeah.
So
No, yeah.
that surprises me that this is being done, because she was a quite a big minor character,
Hmm.
in Civil War.
They
Well,
could have tied it into
I
this.
recognised her.
They could have tied it into this. Like,
To be
It's
fair,
different. Yeah, it's a different person. They
I
could
know,
have
but-
used her as the same character, but
we've had.
and then it would
that's
explain
just-
why she's there because she's lost a son.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not the same
Yeah.
person. But we have had like two different actors play the same person. So why not do it the other way? Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, maybe
I
they
mean,
saw.
how many actors are there
Sure.
in the world? Do we have enough really?
yeah, I mean,
It was
I think we
weird.
had this conversation last week, didn't
Yeah. Has anyone got any other final thoughts on the show before we move on?
Liking it so far. The dialogue is a bit weird, for the most part. I'm loving the ties to the MCU because Hammer Industries got mentioned,
Yep.
and we haven't seen that since the Mandarin short, so that's always good. Justin Hammer, Sam Rockwell, please come back at some point. I love you. But I'm really digging it. I'm really digging all the performances. Cottonmouth's awesome. I really like him. It feels very menacing. I don't know who Diamondback is. Really excited to see what that turns into. Like the, I don't know what you'd call him. Glasses guy, shaved. Diamondback's minion or whatever.
Shades.
He's
Shades.
Shades.
You even said
He's
it.
cool. Did I?
Nearly.
I still like Malik Coulter's performance as Luke Cage. He's really cool. And I like the setting. I like Harlem. Like, they really do a good job of, like, it does feel different from Hell's Kitchen, which is cool.
What about you, Alex?
I think, like what Scott said there about Harlem, I think they're doing a good job on the whole. These Netflix series are making the settings a character,
Yeah.
just as much as the people in the show. I think exactly what you said. Loving the music. Shout out there to Faith Evans as well, who performed all while her ex-husband was a massive portrait of him wearing a crown, which was quite impressive. But yeah, the music was also sort of taken on a character role as well. Early Doors, in particular, it was a big part, or is a big part. I think I don't necessarily agree about Cottonmouth. I don't think he's that good.
Fair
I think he's a caricature of a gangster. I'm more interested to see what happens with the other characters around him, particularly Shades. I think Shades has got a lot up his sleeve.
Shades reminds me of Captain Cold, but like a more badass version, like less CW version of Captain Cold.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'll buy.
He
that,
has a
yeah.
Wentworth Miller to him, and I like that because I like Wentworth Miller.
Yeah, he reminds me of the guy from 11/22/63 who played Lee Harvey Oswald, but that's just a weird thing. And I think Mariah as well. I think she's a really fascinating character. She's stuck well between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
And I think looking at what they've said so far about her mum, I think there's a lot more story to come there as well.